So I figured I'd get out of here at 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah, all good.
You guys are busy people.
That's right.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Bring it in.
Bring in, Coach.
All right.
Let's do it.
Well, yeah, let's just jump right into it then.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Scots on the Run podcast, where we take a behind-the-scenes look at what's happening in McGordon College cross-country and track and field programs. In this episode, we have 2 meets to recap.
We do.
One from last Friday, kind of a regionals preview, and then just this past Saturday, the Con College Invitational. So 2 meets, 2 guests, Caroline Roberts, PJ Lynn with us as well, and Coach Miela on a bit of a time crunch. So we got a lot to cover.
We're going to be efficient, and you're not going to have a lot to cut out of this one. I can tell already.
Let's go.
Yeah, man, we're doing good. What was I going to say? I guess I'm off to a great start already. I can't even think about what I was going to start. The only thing with me is I've been training with the team recently. You know this. I've been jumping in.
Yes.
I hurt my hamstring, so I'm on like a big rehab grind, and I need to be better before our conference meet because I also don't know how else. Like if I can't run around during the cross country, like track, you get away with it. You know, I just stand at the finish line.
Right.
Like, it's pretty simple. You know, but
That's so real. Cross country is the only.
Cross country is like I
everyone's
have to
running.
like be. I had to get going. So, trying to get mobile. We'll see what we can do. Also, how are you doing now that we're back to the regular format of the podcast?
I'm thankful for that. I appreciate what Hudson, Liv, and Jill had to offer on the last episode.
Sure.
But like I said, we got 5 minutes in. I was like, I don't even know why I'm here because they were just taking the lead on all of that. And I told you it was we did 40 episodes before. That was episode 41. This is 42. 40 times previously, I had been able to turn it around that night and get it up by noon the next day. And then we do this one, and I don't know, it took me like 3 or 4 days just to even get started with the process of listening back and trimming some of the fat out, so to speak, and then getting it live. So
well, maybe. I think the only thing of value out of there is that we had some advertising read-ins. I think maybe Hudson could pre-record some, and you could kind of splice
there
those
you go.
in.
Yeah,
as we
I
go.
did. The only moment where I had to get up and temporarily leave the situation was when Liv made the 6-7 joke.
You did. I did. You did get up.
But
you did get up.
that's all behind us now.
That's
Let's,
right. Reeling it in.
into-
Reeling it in.
Yeah.
And for the listeners, if you haven't, you can go back and listen to episode 41. But like you said, so about 2 weeks ago or 2 races ago, we were at Hopkinton. We've been on a bit of a break because before that, we took 3 Saturdays off. So we had a good opportunity to have a nice long training block in the middle of the season. Not necessarily how we intentionally planned it at the end of last year, but we made some changes at the beginning of this year, and it worked out that way. Where it worked out is that the majority of those who raced that Friday ran a personal best, and that's encouraging. Obviously, after you take that much time off, we didn't know if we were going to have a lot of rust. And, I was worried that we were going to make a lot of, racing errors, getting out too fast, getting out too hard. But people stuck together, and it was exciting to see our team perform at a high level on the same course where we'll be back for the regional championship. So I was pretty excited about that.
So from a month's time off, almost from September 13th, the pop crawl, to October 10th at Hopkinton, to go from that to only having 8 days between that meet and then Con College, what did you see this Saturday, and what were kind of your expectations for the team going into that?
Yeah, and obviously, as we've reflected on that race, it's tough to go back-to-back weeks and expect yourself to, especially given the fact that, I'm looking at this, of everybody who raced, I only have 2 men and 2 women who did not run a personal best at Hopkinton, right? So it's really hard to then go replicate that 8 days later. So for the majority of the people on the team, they, rose their own individual bar, right? They ran their fastest time. And for the most part, some people ran their all-time best. It wasn't just a course PR. It wasn't just a college PR. It was like, this is the fastest I've ever covered that distance, right? So given that, it's really hard to then come back a little over a week later and raise the bar again, especially if you're asking your body to give max effort, right? So again, knowing that, I still think we're pleased with the fact that we got out there and we raced well. A little bit more of a condensed course, and I think when you put the two experiences together, Hopkinton being at where our regional championship will be, also being a race where there's a lot of Division I schools, so it kind of spread out and it was a little thinner, a little sooner. And then Conn College, very dense, very narrow at points, a lot of turns. So again, the experience we got from both races was really probably crucial as we go into our championship season here, because you're going to have to learn how to race against people who, teams that might be really fast. You're going to have to race, in dense situations, and so how to navigate those things. Like I said, I think we're really happy with the experience we were able to get for sure. Well, we got PJ and Caroline Roberts. I you know where I want to start? I'd like to ask Caroline, are you running? Is your hair on fire when you're running? Like, what is to quote? I was texting the legend, Rachel Brennan, which shout out Rachel because we know you're listening. She literally said to me, "Get Caroline Roberts on the pod. That girl's popping off." I'm pretty sure that was the text.
Oh wow.
So what is it? What has been? What do you think's been the cause of your success the last few races so far?
I think during our break, our 3-week training block, I think I had really good workouts coming up to it. Maybe not like feeling my best physically, like mentally. I feel like I was starting to get the hang of like pushing myself a lot. But then like before Hopkinton, like 3 days before, I got sick and I started to work myself up. So that 5K, I don't know what happened there. I thought I was doing bad. I thought like my mental process was so negative. But then I think after that, I was like ready for Conn College, and I was like, I think that I can run the same pace that I did when I'm healthy. And yeah, that's surprisingly what I did.
Well, and so you went under. So Hopkinton was a 5K. That was one of the differences on at Hopkinton for the women. You went under 20 minutes in the 5K for the first time at Hopkinton, and then you went under 24 minutes in the 6K at Conn College. Did you think you were going to do those times? Was that your goal? Were those benchmarks you were trying to hit?
I think so. I don't think I expected to go under 20 in the 5K, but after I did, while being sick, I was like, I actually told Rachel, I was like, I want to run like the same exact pace, because, and yeah, I just went in, and I was like, I'm just going to try to go out at that pace and see if I can hold it.
And you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anything make the difference for you in terms of being able to carry it through from 1 week to the next, or you just kind of, I don't know, you're just confident?
Yeah, I think I was just more confident going into Conn College. And yeah, it was also just like, I think the environment too. It was like fun to be around so many teams and like at a good course and a fast course.
Cool. And PJ, you were one of 4 men to run a personal best both at Hopkinton and at Conn College, and those are and for you, I can't remember what your personal best was before Hopkinton. I don't think you'd broken 28 minutes though.
No, definitely not. No.
Do you remember what was your?
It was like 28. It was like 28.50, I think.
It's pretty, yeah. So I thought you made a pretty significant jump at Hopkinton. You went from 27 or 28 high. You ran 27.46. Then you came back, was able to basically run a very similar race, 27.39, on 2 different courses. And we just talked about 2 very different experiences. So for you, what was the key to you having the opportunity to run your best in both races?
Yeah, Hopkinton was such a weird race. I'm not gonna lie. We came off that 3-week training block after not racing for a little bit and only racing at Gordon. So that was the first time we've traveled all season, and that just like I've been away for a long time, so just racing period was weird.
Sure.
So especially to travel and then the run was I was in a weird headspace, and then to top it off, like we were racing against like Stonehill and then like all the UMasses, and that put my head in a spin. I was like, these are big colleges. And the only kind of association I have with Stonehill is that like you play football there. So I was like, that's the only association I have with Stonehill. I was like, crap, these are big teams. Yeah, and then to add, like there was the hill at Hopkinton, and that I think I knew I could PR 100%. I knew I was gonna break 28, but I didn't know by how much. And then I think I played it very safe at Hopkinton because of the hills, D1 teams, intimidation factor.
You started out with a tempo, good tempo.
We had the tempo, good tempo.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we had the tempo pace right going there. And actually, I did think to myself, even as I was kind of serious too. I was like, this does kind of feel like tempo pace, which was honestly not the way to go at Hopkinton because I was intimidated by the hill a bit. So I wish I went harder. But then at Con. That there is a switch, and I think actually what you said and what Coach said helped me a lot of like, hey, just full send it, don't hold back. This is a confidence thing now, and just like have the eye of the hunter and just like attack. And that was the mental switch I had to flip there, and I really did. I felt like if I didn't have that mental switch, I wouldn't have PR'd at all because of how many people there at the course at Con. Like, in order to weave passing through people were shoving like. Each other, like it was a fight, man. Cross country is like
it was a battle.
It was a battle, man. For that's the amount of physicalness you're gonna get for cross country. But so I had to weave in and out of people and just like really attack and not get complacent and say I'm gonna stay behind this person and feel comfortable. But no, I'm gonna really pass them and go for it. And that was the mental switch I had.
Yeah, we are starting to transition to championship season.
Oh yeah.
So how do you feel, like, give me your pulse on the team. Like, how do you guys feel the team is set up to run the final 2 races of the season?
I'm feeling pretty confident, man. I'm excited. I'm so stoked.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, after Hopkinton, I feel like everyone was like, oh my gosh, we're going to do so good. And I remember having a really good conversation with Roland at one point about, like, what the team's looking like, the amount of confidence we have. And then we hit Con, and it was like, okay, like, that was a minute of, like, really hard training, and, like, some of us didn't PR, some of us did, but like, we're still on the roll. And then not to compare ourselves with other teams is a huge factor too, and to really look at ourselves and say, how are we going to do as a team? And so for regionals and, where performance is really starting to matter, I think our confidence is really starting to go back up with that and say, hey, look, let's look at ourselves, not look at other people, and just see what we can do. And we're mainly fine-tuning everything now. It's all fine-tuning. All the work has been done, just fine-tuning what we can and just recover, man. And then just hold back and then gun it, man.
Yeah.
Stoked.
Yeah. How about you? How do you feel the women?
I think that I'm very excited for our team. I think we have girls that have such a positive mindset. And I think that, like PJ said, all we can really do is focus on what we can control, which is all the work we've put in the woods, which is where we're going to be racing, like that 2K loop. So just using the work we did to, like, give us confidence. And, I can't really worry about, like, other teams, but just know that, like, preparation is what is going to give us the confidence to pull through.
For sure.
In the
so not only have you prepared by doing... I think that the training's been pretty good for both teams overall. You've prepared by actually doing training runs on the course, and then you both have actually raced this course, right? So there's a lot of reasons why we should go in, regardless of placement, knowing that you should go in confident you can run your best race. You know what I mean? Especially at your home meet conference championship, right? Before we kind of do any kind of wrap up or looking ahead, I did want to ask PJ, just something personally for you. You weren't with us last semester. you were in Waco, Texas to start?
I was
Where were you?
I was in San Antonio for basic training, and then Wichita Falls, middle of nowhere, Texas, northern Texas, Oklahoma.
And I don't know, what is your official, I guess, association with the Air Force? What is your deal? I know you're like what do they call it? You're enlisted, you're enrolled,
Yeah. So I'm a part-time reservist, so I get this question a lot. Everyone asks if I'm ROTC. I'm like, nope, not ROTC. Right. I'm an enlisted reservist, meaning that part-time Air Force, I get to be a full-time college student at the same time. So being a reservist means that you get to go on 1 weekend a month, do your job, have your annual tour, everything. Sure. And then you still have your civilian job on top of that, your civilian career, everything. But then you still go on deployments for your deployment cycle, you still have your annual tour, and you can still go on TDY, which is like kind of miniature deployments and trainings. Mm-hmm. So doing that on top of all that.
And what, so you had to do 6 months of training last semester. What is your, what's your role? What do you do? You don't fly planes.
I wish, man.
Not yet.
Wish. Nah, that would take a lot more training. No, in order to fly planes, you have to have a lot of requirements. But anyway, my job is what they call maintenance and management analysis. Mm. So
sounds important.
It sounds very important, doesn't it? So if anything, to break it down, I'm in a desk chair, man.
Yeah.
I'm in a desk chair with all the benefits. It's awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I take a look at all the aircrafts. I look at all the data from the aircrafts. I'm stationed at Westover Air Reserve Base, 2.5 hours away in Chicopee. Oh, cool. And we deal with the C-5s there. So in maintenance, obviously maintaining all the aircrafts, fixing all the aircrafts. But I look at when they fix the aircrafts, when they break, I schedule the maintenance, and I look at the analysis. So I do case studies on the aircraft if it breaks, and I report it to leadership, to the maintenance commander, and all these important meetings with high head honchos, man. Sure. Yeah.
And then I wanted to make sure, obviously, while we had you, that we talked a little bit about this, because not everybody, like you said, we do have people who do ROTC every once in a while that come through, but your circumstance is certainly a little bit more unique. And then I thought I remember talking to you about, you want to be a chaplain in the Air Force specifically, or in any, so is that kind of your goal after college here?
That's the goal, man. Yeah, I'm Air Force or Army, whatever the Lord has. I mean, there's different routes I can take. Chaplaincy is definitely the main goal. Once I graduate from Conwell with the Master's Divinity, I can become a chaplain, and that opens a lot of doors, and what my career looked like, and that would allow me to commission. Definitely have a stable job, stable income, and just really provide for people who need it, man.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that's really cool. And we talk about this whenever we get people on the pod. I just think that it's fun to hear not only why people chose Gordon, but also what they plan to do once they leave, and how your experience here is setting you up for that. And we're certainly grateful not only that you get to serve our team, you get to serve our country as well, and you get to make us look good, because you are an impressive person. So
I'm here.
So now you're here, and we can send this out to everybody in the Air Force. It'll be be great.
There you go. That's right.
What's left, Ben?
I don't have much of anything else. I know you're trying to get to a meeting, so I want to try to.
No, I appreciate that.
We can here, but we are hosting conference in a week and a half, which I think, and I can say this from experience too, because I believe it was my sophomore year that we hosted conference. It's a huge advantage for us to have that training booth that we do to be able to run our home course, which is now the course of the most important meet of the year in many respects. So what are you looking forward to, just from a coaching perspective, for this team as we get ready for that in, I guess, 9 days' time here?
For sure. We've been real intentional about, like you said, there are certain aspects of the course that require just more tactical, I guess, awareness. And I think yesterday it was a little slick, so we've used that to our advantage. The fact that we can, some people, like even other teams who do host, their home course is still a park off campus somewhere, so they don't necessarily have as easy of access as we do. We literally go back into those trails all the time. So I'm excited to see how this group from, we raced there, September 13th. I'm excited to see how different they race. Just regardless of time, I'm confident that times will take care of themselves, but I'm excited to see how they run with confidence. I'm excited to see, even, and it's I guess it's hard to describe, just more so the body language, the looks on their faces when they know they can go in and have that edge over everybody, not only because they're fit, but because they're legitimately, they know every nook and cranny of this course, right? And they're confident in how they can, and how they can attack each part of it. So I'm excited to see how that pays off. I'm excited to see just how we race, not even so much what the time is, but how we execute. Last word.
Come on, Caroline. Come on.
I don't got one.
No word from
All right.
Caroline.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll let you get out of here then.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume no episode previewing next week probably because you're going to be doing so much.
Yeah, we got to set up, because
that,
that's the downside of hosting. Yeah,
All right.
rhythm.
Yeah.
So stay tuned in 2 weeks' time. Yeah.
Is it okay
BJ?
if I do something a little bit unorthodox?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is
Send
it
us
okay? Is it okay if I pray us out?
Sure.
Oh, look at PJ.
Go ahead.
Is it okay if I
Go
pray
ahead.
us out? It's a Christian school, man.
All right.
Yeah, come on.
Love it. Let's go.
Yeah. Lord, thank you so much time we have here together. Thank you so much for this wonderful team and that we get to take part in this event bigger than ourselves, and that we have the ability to compete and just completely glorify you and who you are. We appreciate you for your love and your compassion towards us as we run. Allow us to feel your pleasure when we run and when we compete, especially towards the end of the season when things start to really ramp up and pressure's on the line, Lord. So, Lord, we love you. We take care of us and just love us as your own children. In your name, amen.
Amen.
Amen.